Well, greetings. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt again, and I want to go over the 3 cases we did last week on the future of orthodontics, what's going to happen in the future. And this is what's going to take place in the future. And I want to show this as fast as I can. I'm just going to show the beginning and then speed through the whole thing and show you the end of it. And if you're concerned and want to learn how to do it, study it and go back and very carefully go through it. And I'll show you it is not impossible to do. We can do it. And then let's get started right away. I'm going to use my little dart and draw on it. Now here is a case, and I think this is a perfect picture of what can be done with orthodontics. I mean, where you just take a person like this. He's 50 some odd years old, if I'm not mistaken on that, and his upper teeth closed inside of his lower teeth down here. And he comes in and wants to have his teeth done. And I did it for just a meager orthodontic fee. But the price of orthodontics is ridiculous. I mean, there are people in the world where their teeth as bad as this man right here would give no telling what to get their teeth straightened like this. So let's go through this real quick. And if you want to go back, I did the whole thing last week. Now here's his bite. His bite, his upper teeth completely went inside of his lower teeth. And that looks like when he opened his mouth, these teeth right here, when they were barely closed, there was a gap over here and over here, almost a ½ inch, like that. We could not get this to level out. It does it on its own. You don't have to do surgery to level the thing out. We just put some acrylic across here, had him close here, and then these teeth couldn't come together. They just moved together, bone, teeth, and all, and it doesn't matter how old he is. You can, and I had to expand the lower jaw, the upper jaw, to where it fit over the lower jaw to start with. Now watch this happen in here. So you can go back and study it. Now this is after several months of treatment. We put this blonding material up here. These teeth couldn't touch for several times. Now these teeth are almost together. If you look at this, they're almost there. And we could go through that, and they'll be there in a little bit. Now, while the teeth were coming down there, we expanded the jaw. And I did it with a large arch wire. This is a big arch wire. This is a rectangular wire in here. And if you're going to go out and expand these teeth, you have to go with the teeth at the same speed. We can put this big daddy wire and get all the lateral force you need, but you have to put buccal root torque in the molar teeth before they'll go out, and you pull with the big one so the crowns go along and the roots go into the cortical bone and move the cortical bone. I don't give a hoot how old they are. They can be done in people 60, 70, and 80. I've not started in a 90-year-old people yet, but I've got some in there that worked into 90 years. That bone will still move in there. So this has to be a rectangular wire you get in there, and then you can carry the teeth out bodily. I've got that shown in several videos on using the big daddy arch wire. Now don't go in there by itself. It doesn't torque. But it'll give you positive torque all you want. But you just want the teeth to move bodily out. So you put buccal root torque. And if you don't put something to back it up, the buccal root torque is stronger than the lateral expansion of the arch wire. You'll get lingual crown torque in there. So here we use that to expand this. And then we added the space where he was missing teeth. Now anybody can do this. I don't care. You don't have to be some brain to be able to do this. You don't have to be a Superman either. Just anybody can do it. Now here he is a little later down the line. Now his teeth are together. I didn't go in and cut this loose up here, just left it together. Now you have to watch if the temporomandibular joints start giving you a problem. You got to put a block back here and let these teeth come together and get the load of the condyle off of the fossa back at the back. But he was tough, and we didn't even need to do that. So you can see that. Now there it is. This is orthodontics of the future. And there's a million person out there that are similar situations. And you can do it if you just forget about the things you can't do. You can see. Now this guy's 50 some odd years old, and we have expanded his upper teeth out over his lower teeth, and we left his gap together, and the teeth moved in there. Well, these teeth were being pushed up, these were being pushed down, while he was biting on this through here, and these went down in that direction, and they came together. And we did this, and here we expanded this, we opened up and put some teeth, false teeth in the middle, and he went and had bridges done on that part. Let me go through and show you. There we are, just about to finish. We took this person with that bad a situation on him, and in less than, I think it was less than 3 years, it was about 2 years and something, went from that to that, from that to that, and had the expanded those teeth. Now here he is, after we finish. This is a different person right here. There are people in the world, all over the world, and people are paying more attention to this in foreign countries than we are here in the United States. And we're going to try to get the American Orthodontic Society teed up to where they will at least learn and do this type of orthodontics. It's nothing, it's just taking the regular stuff. Here's a man that looks hideous when we started, and now he's got a nice looking set of teeth, a nice facial structure. He can present himself to anybody. And before, he had his upper teeth for about 40-something years. He went with his upper teeth going into the lower teeth. And there is, happy man. I'm going to just run through the rest of this, and we'll start case number 2. This is what I want our people in America to start doing, and quit running around sitting on our butts wanting to find something that'll do it for nothing. Just think about it. Here was the way we moved about. I'm going to go through that. His TMJ is fine. And you can go back and study that. Now here's case number 2. This young lady, we had people believing that you couldn't expand the lower anterior teeth. And this was in 1973. I've been working on this stuff for over 40, 50 years, and the people in the United States have not caught on yet what is happening here. And they kind of against it. All right, they said you couldn't do that. I found the lady with the crowdedest teeth I've ever seen. I'm going to go back here. Here are the lower anterior teeth. These are cuspids right here. These are the most crowded teeth I've ever seen. They said it didn't matter if you took teeth out. She needed to have the teeth out anyway. They would still go back where they were. In 10 years, they'd go back together like they were right here. All right, I did not believe it, but the guy teaching it was such a gentleman, I didn't tell him. I just went ahead and let him believe that. But this was in 1973, a long time ago. We learned that you could do that. Now I went in and we took the first spies out because they needed to be taken out. And I expanded those teeth. And it took a little while, brought the teeth through the gap. And here, now they're nearly there. These are the teeth, there's the cuspid. And this is where these cuspids are. And before they were somewhere back in here, I just took them and just moved them back, but put the roots back, and the crown's not going to run off and leave the roots. And here it is, 73. And here it is, 1985. In other words, 73 to 85. We just about finished it up. And there she was when we started, and here she was when we finished. And here the teeth are. And this is orthodontics of the future. Forget about the things that says you can't expand this, you can't do this, you can't do that. You can do just virtually anything you want to. This was 1975, and we had it already done in that length of time. And there's people that would be happy to do that. But change different. And some of the things we used back then to expand and bring those teeth back. I'll go through the case. It's 76, 77. All right, here's 85. There's 85, and we had finished it 10 years before. And I thought, well, if I'm wrong, I'll wait 10 more years. And so I did. I waited 10 more years. There's 93, and we started in 73. And there the case is. It stayed out there. We brought those cuspids. These are the lower anterior teeth right in here. The cuspid teeth. That's if I'm hitting the right ones. And spread them that far. And they stayed there. So we were wrong in teaching that. And the orthodontic schools believed that. And they thought if you spread them out, they come back together. Well, if you were in a class and they said spread them, you don't have much time, you just do it this way. You leave them alone, in 10 years, every one of them will go back that way. But if you do it right, they go out, they stay there. This is 93 after 73. And that's lower anterior teeth. That's orthodontics of the future, and that's what people want. Now, if you can expand
Sorry, I don't
that
understand.
and go back to this. All right, here's this case we did. This lady went to 2 oral surgeons, at least, maybe 3, and they were going to do double jaw surgery. And this was in 1987. And I had already done several of these cases like this. So she heard about it some way or another and came over and wanted to see, what can you do for me? And she definitely is class 3. Well, I told her we could take out the 6-year molars here. Well, you had to have a few guts to do this. Now, our leader of our group, Dr. Brad Williams, has done a case like this, but he just didn't carry it far enough. But he could have done it. And now, and you bring these teeth forward, you're going to learn how to move these teeth out. You don't need an arch wire and all a bunch of junk down here. You just take an arch wire that goes out, and you go like that, you run down here, you hook that up over here, and you tie this in, and you can pull these 2 teeth up bodily and join them in. And you take these back to where there's a class 1 relation, and where they fit and look best. And then you pull these teeth. You don't lean them backward. You take the teeth far back like this. And you look at the cephalometric when you get through it. I'll show you how you did it. All right, I'm going to jump through this in a hurry. I'll widen this arch out, and you put a rectangular wire with buccal root torque so that the roots of the molars going against the cortical bone and the crown at the same time, and the cortical bone will just move out with these teeth. And you take time to do it. Now this tooth was turned sideways, and we rotated it. We took these out right there. And this is 87. When we started, we took those teeth out. She had periodontal problems. I still pull the teeth forward, and you watch them come forward. We didn't put a bunch of junk down here on the bottom to get them. We just take the arch wire, comes right through here, you put this loop in it, and down, put this in, and you pull that into this, and it'll bring the roots and the crown forward at the same time. And that's what we did. We pulled those teeth together. Now here it is, 84 of 87. I'd already got this far along. Now this is 5 of 87. We're turning that tooth around. If you want to go over it real slow, I've got the whole thing again, but I wanted to show you the start and the finish. And what we did, we expanded the upper jaw, and then we brought the upper jaw forward. We carried it in a forward direction. In most of your class 3, your teeth stick out, your tongue, you're like this. And so you're pulling these teeth back while you're taking these up here forward. And then you want to expand this, so you use a rectangular wire behind the Big Daddy. And you can put all the force you ever want laterally with the Big Daddy, but you've got to put the buccal root torque. And on the top of, if you look at that, you have to put this progressive torque in the arch wire. We use 0 and 8 arch wires. You can put all kind of torque in it. So you need to do them. That's the best way to do it. All right, we close that space. Don't jump forward on this. Now we rotated this too. Then as soon as you get in a rectangle, back this root up down here. So it goes inside the tissue. All right, she gained a little weight on the way, and then she gave it up and lost the weight. Now, to move the upper teeth forward, you have to run interference for them. And just don't let anybody tell you. I mean, if you want the upper teeth to go forward, and you gotta get the roots out there too, and that was the problem that our guy here did on his case. He just tilted those teeth out this way. And that, you got to bring these teeth out bodily. And so you put a lip bumper, and you see how I expanded the lip bumper in here. And it ran interference. And you had a soft vascular bed, and the bone around the teeth, the cortical bone, will move with a cancerous bone. And you expand those teeth, and you can look at it. Right on the bottom down there, we brought them back. We didn't just tilt them back, we brought them roots and all back. Now, we finished that, but you've got to put an upper lip bumper in there and run interference to get the roots of the teeth out where they look normal. So that's what we did. Now on the bottom, we had to go back with them bodily. And taking that back, we brought these teeth out up here. A lot of the people in foreign countries now are looking at this and saying they couldn't do the surgery anyway. And over here, we think about the surgery. I've scrubbed in on them and worked on somebody from 7 in the morning till 1 o'clock in the day, and had the whole maxilla hanging out here on the tongue with the teeth, shortening it. And you see what goes on, and we did that with nothing but orthodontics. And that's where the world is going to go. I don't care, I'm going to die and leave it with you, but by God, that's the way people are going to want to do this. And that's what they'll do. And so we can sit here on our can in America, but the people of foreign countries are writing me back and thanking me and helping them do this. They will pick up on this because they couldn't possibly do the surgery back there. All right, let's get on through this. This is 1991, and here we are in 91. We started in 87, and here she is. Now 87 to 91 is only 13 years. And now this young lady, her son was in my wife's Sunday school class and asked her, did she know a Dr. Bill Wyatt? She said, yes, he's my husband. And so I found her and got these pictures 13 years later. She's a stewardess in Southwest Airlines, and it still looked just as good. And this was it was when it started. Here it is when we finished in 91. Now, here it is, 1991. I mean, that was 13 years after it, and that's the way it looked. And she came, we found her here this a few days ago. Now, if you want, I thought we was going to have to do a genioplasty here, but it looks perfectly fine on this young lady. And she's a stewardess on Southwest Airlines. And we found some pictures over the other day. And there she needs to scale this out. This is, maybe she didn't wear enough lip bumper. We got a little bit of teeth showing, but this is years after we got through with the case. All right. I'm going to show you where we moved the teeth back. Now, we left these teeth to kind of shear this up, but you can take them out when they start giving you trauma back here if you want to take them out. Now, this is 87. This is 2010. Okay, 2010. 87, that's 20 some odd years. They're about 23 years later. Now that's 87, that's 2010, 23 years. That's the 040 wire we went out, but I had a rectangle wire and brought it in, and it stayed out there. All right. Here is the bone structure. It's 1987. Look where the chin button is. Look where the chin button is here. These teeth are back like that. They're not leaned out this way. These teeth up here, we moved them out. Now we get out here, they're more or less straight. You're not tilted out that way. Here it was, 87, 2010, 87, 2010, and it's still solid. Now, that's 87, and this is 24. In other words, it's 37 years later. Here this case is. There it is. She's still a stewardess for Southwest Airlines. And this is 37 years that this is like that. Now this is orthodontics of the future. I'm sorry, taking surgical things away from the surgeons. They do a marvelous job. And I've worked with surgeons, and they came to my office and get them ready. And when they asked me to go to Parkland Hospital, and I went with him and I watched him, and I even helped do that. And then I got out and saw I'm doing the same blooming thing orthodontically on these people. And you can do it too. Now that's the end of this deal. And this is what I want Americans to catch on to this. I've been trying for 40 years or more and doing this thing. I just went out on my own because I didn't know any better. And so I did it anyway. And it worked. And that's what I want our people in this country to catch on. People are grabbing onto this in foreign countries, and they write back, and I've got people that are very interested in this. And I want Americans to get on the ball, and I'm depending on the AOS to start doing this. So thank you very much, and I'm going to show one more of these today. I'm going to close out now and say goodbye for today, but I'll be back in a few minutes.